Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. We're going to be ranking every single weapon in Darktide. Now, this is going to be a little bit of meta, a little bit of vibes. Just kind of going off my personal experience. I'm be real. Some of these weapons are just going to be ranked in the same list. So, like, for example, if I were to, like, say, oh, the Brunts, they're all, like, C. I'm not going to put all three of them in there. But if there's any major difference, I believe, between the variants, then I'll rank them individually. But generally, just going for the vibes. And starting off, Bully Club. I think the Bully Club is a solid A tier. I think they're all A tier. Although I do think the Brunt is different to the others because obviously it's a strike down primary. But I think generally all the Bully Clubs are just pretty much A tier. It's just like kind of like the knife. It's just good. It good combos, good specials. Obviously, you have the ability to uppercut crushers and interrupt them, and obviously it does good damage to Carapace, does good damage to everything, and obviously, well, pretty much all the Ogre and melee weapons that aren't slow as beans are going to be up here. Sorry, you saw my PNG overlay for a second there. So I'm just going to put all three of them in A. Now for the Las Pistol. I think the last pistol goes... I think this one goes in... Where'd my last pistol go? They took it away. Hello? Where the fuck? Las. Okay, so this one goes in A because it's quicker. I'm going to put the heavy one. There is enough difference. I'm going to put the heavy one in B. This one is just too slow. And it doesn't really have enough... Actually, I'm going to put it down to C. I know that might seem crazy, but this is the heavy variant, like the heavy variant. It's just too slow, not punchy enough, and it's much better to just take the normal lasgun because it's faster, better, just kind of, not obviously, not very punchy, but it's very quick, and obviously if you're running stuff like Infernus, you'll be applying a lot of burn damage. Now for the recon lasguns, I think pretty much all of these go in S tier. I feel like I don't have to explain. The lasguns in this game are a little bit underwhelming generally, but the recon lasgun, what makes up for in maybe lack of power, it makes up with ammo, fire rate, crit rate, Infernus, right, and just like really good accuracy. So, it does a lot of damage to hordes, you can even, like, monstrosities, struggles with, like, crushers and stuff, but, the burn and stuff will usually help out with that. So yeah, we're just going to put the recon lasgun in S. It's probably the only lasgun you're going to see in S. Blast Boom Mark II Grenadier Gauntlet, I'm going to put it in B. I think it's good. I just don't think it's that good. I think it struggles with... One, obviously it is a sort of single target weapon. Doesn't have a lot of like blasts on the radius. The impact is nice, the special attack is nice, but its range can be kind of hard to do, like to taking out snipers or gunners or stuff. Doesn't have that much damage versus monstrosities really, and its ammo count is quite low for what it is, so you're going to be out of ammo for the most part, and honestly sometimes it feels a little janky to use simply because you can't hip fire it, so it's a bit awkward there. And like, if you're trying to take out a sniper, the Ogre just has better options. So like, you can just throw a rock at it, you can use the Ripper gun to take it out, your heavy stubber will hit it eventually. You have like the normal heavy stubbers that obviously have the ADS, and just, even the kickback is honestly better at dealing with snipers. So I'm just gonna put the Mach Gauntlet in B. I don't think it's bad enough to be in C. I think it's just good enough to be in B. Void Blast Staff, I think we can put that in... I don't play with this staff enough, so I'm going to put it in A, because I don't think it's S, but I know it's really good, and I feel like I don't have to say much. It's good. It's, big AoE, big damage. Do I need the good range? Do I need to say more? It's good. I don't play with it enough to really give it a deep analysis, but every time I see it, it does insane amounts of damage. Now for the Contrail Pattern, it is a weak gun, but each of them sort of rank individually. The Mach 9 or whatever this is, the heavy variant, too slow, not punchy enough for how slow it is, just not enough damage. The Mach 7, I'm going to put it in B. It's a pretty punchy, pretty quick, feels good to use, you know. And then I'm also going to put, oh, do I put this in? I feel like I can put this in A. So this kind of follows the same logic as the Recon Lasgun, where what it makes, it has a little more punch than your Recon Lasgun, obviously being semi-automatic, but it is a improved rate of fire, high crit rate, so you can make it work within furnace and stuff, so where you can like really just knock things down, and it has a good ammo economy. So I'm putting it in A. Delver's Mach 2 pickaxe, I feel like I don't need to say much about it. It's S, the pickaxes are S. Do I need to say more? Where's the rest of my weapons? Oh, Laz. Blech. So we're just gonna put the pickaxe in S. It's good strike damage, good clear, good stamina, you know, mobility isn't really a problem for the Ogryn, so it's just good all around. Now, combat shotguns. I'm going to put all of these in C. I think they're not awful, I just don't think they're good. They did get a buff with the Arbites update, the Bound by Honor, Bound by Duty. So they do more damage, but I think the issue is that, one, if you're an Arbitrator, there's no reason to run these shotguns, just run the Arbitrator shotgun. And if you're the Zealot, I would just run the double barrel. They're not completely abysmal, Dogwater, and I've seen people do the slug shotgun builds to have like an insane amount of damage on the slugs. It's just they don't have great ammo economy. They don't really have a lot of killing power, especially versus like Carapace, which is, once again, when, you know, Auric difficulty or Havoc, you know, like 20 upward, the game just chucks Carapace armored enemies at you. So if you don't have a weapon that can like chew through it by any way, really you're just going to want to be looking for something else. So that's why the combat shotguns are in C for combat shotgun. Power Maul, I think it's an S. This used to be like below D. This used to be like Z maybe. But I think with its recent rework, it's actually an S tier weapon. It can do a lot of damage, does an insane amount of damage to monstrosities, has good attack patterns, has a good heavy strike down. Its special attack, although the cooldown is long, it does a lot of damage. You can one-shot crushers with it, and it's, you know, just CC things around it that you don't one-shot. It's just so good. Now for the heavy stubbers, I don't think any of them are like particularly different enough. I gotta put them in C. I do like the normal heavy stubbers. It's just their bloom is really crazy, so like they're only really good up close, and the ADS is not, unless you're using the Mach 2, the Achilles, the ADS, it doesn't have a lot of punch to it, so it just feels like not worth 2 ADS, so we're just going to put these in C, and, you know, it's just, they're a little, the animal economy is nice, I guess, but there's really no reason to run the normal heavy stubber over the twin linked, right? Power Sword, I feel like these just go in S tier. Power Sword is one of the best melee weapons in the game. I don't need to really say anything else about it, right? Pretty much every veteran runs it. It's just how it is. Twin linked heavy stubbers. I'm gonna put the Gorgum in A, and then see, people are gonna judge me for this. I'm putting the Achilles in D. And where'd my heavy stubber go? They took it away from me. And then I'm gonna put this in C. I think Gorgum is just above and beyond better than the others. It has more punch, it has more accuracy. It is a bit slower firing, but it's not that much slower. And it's just, it'll clear hordes, it'll kill Carapace, it'll kill monstrosities, it's got good range. Accuracy at range isn't even that bad. It, you know, the spread is pretty damn good at long range. And it's, because it's slow firing, its ammo economy is a bit better, and it does so much damage, you're not going to need as many bullets as the Achilles. Let's be real with ourselves, folks. The Achilles is only good for activating the ability, and the Gunlugger ability, and nuking a boss, but you can't even really do that anymore because they nerfed that ability. So it's just not, the ammo economy is bad, the damage is bad, it just feels bad to use, and the Cork is just kind of mid. It's better than the Achilles, just on merit of not being the Achilles, but it's just not good in general. Power, the combat axes, not the tactical axes. I gotta put the combat axes in C. I really don't see anyone use them. I do like the combat axe. It's just they're not, compared to some of their other competitors, there's just no real reason to run them. And feel free to disagree with me. I just don't think they're really, there to be used at all. Shock mauls, the normal shock mauls. Now, the shock mauls are interesting because I don't think they're bad. I really don't know where I'd put them. Probably end up in C again. I don't think they're D or F worthy if I were to add F tier. I think they have okay damage, the ability to CC immune, or CC pretty much anything that's not immune, is pretty freaking sweet. And then obviously they have, I haven't mentioned blessings at all, but like the blessings are, well, other than Infernus, but the blessings of like doing more damage to shocked enemies and the amount of shock you can apply, you can actually clear out enemies pretty quickly. So I guess I'm gonna put these in, B, but it's a tenuous B, and I'll think about it as I go on. The auto guns, I'm gonna put them in, some might think I'm crazy for this, I'm gonna put them in B. I think they're good, they do damage, but their ammo economy is really kind of where I don't put them any higher than B. In fact, part of me would put them at C. It's just, I don't know, just they feel okay, but I feel like a lot of times they get kind of chewed out of their ammo, and it's like, oh, I don't have anything more to shoot. In that range, they can be kind of wily to control with some pretty good recoil. Vigilant auto guns, I feel like these are D tier. I don't see anyone ever use them. It just kind of feels like they're not very good. It's like, why would you take those over the las? Like, straight up, if you're gonna run a vigilant auto gun, why not just run a las gun, right? The las guns do more damage, at least, and it feels cooler to use. Braced auto gun, I'm gonna put pretty much all these in A. I mean, A, I know it's crazy to put the infantry underneath the braced, but I feel like I used to be a braced hater, but I feel like lately the braced auto guns have really kind of like picked up a little bit, especially with like certain arbitrator and zealot builds. They just feel quite good to use, and they have like a lot of ammo as well. So it's ammo economy is good, monstrosity damage is good, horde damage is good. Just feels good to use. Okay, we got the quick draw stub revolver. I'm just gonna put both of these in S. Feel like I don't need to explain myself on that one. They do good damage to Carapace. They'll one-shot pretty much any enemy to the head. That's not like an Ogren or a Mauler. They have pretty good monstrosity damage too if you're shooting the head. They have a pretty decent ammo economy because the kill per bullet is actually like more than one because they have really good pierce. They're incredibly accurate. Even the hip fire one is good because that one obviously you can shoot a lot faster. You can like nuke some enemies with it. But like nothing will be more satisfying than hitting a sniper long range with that hip fire. Whew, feeling like Texas Red. So yeah, I'm just gonna put both those in S. Power Falchion. Oh man, I don't know where to put this. I'm gonna put it in B. I feel like I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's awful. It's probably just not for me. Because obviously it's just a nice sort of like alternative to some of the veterans' non-power sword melee weapons. And it's just sort of like, if that's what you like, if you like using the Devil's Claw, this is pretty much like a straight upgrade. So we'll just say it there. Purgation Flamer, I have to scroll down. I mean, it's S. Would I knock it down to A for having a lack of way to deal with ranged gunners or snipers? Nah, it just does too much damage. It's too good. Does good monstrosity damage. Does good damage to Carapace enemies. Will pretty much clear out any horde. Obviously, it struggles against like captains and obviously gunners that are out of its range. But and the ammo economy is still good even after all this time. I mean, hey, do you remember what the Purgation Flamer was on release? You literally would almost never need any ammo for this thing because that's how ammo efficient it is. But it's still pretty ammo efficient, so I like it. Tactical axes. I'm gonna put these in A. I'm gonna put them in A because they do a lot of damage. They're kind of a forgotten hero. I don't know if y'all remember, but back in the day, before the dueling sword was a thing, the tactical axe was all the rage, and I think we should go back to that time. It was a better time. It was that and the knife. So, tac axes, they're all going in A. They're not S tier, I don't think, anymore. But they're just going in A. I can't put them in there. Pickaxes, I think all the pickaxes can go in S. I really don't think there's that much of a difference between them to rank them individually. Some might disagree with me. I won't. RBD Shock Mall, I feel like that's a pretty obvious S. Do I need to say anything? You apply this, like you do the heavy special, light special combo, you'll pretty much kill anything instantly. I feel like I don't need to say why it's so good. It's just a better shock mall. CC, dot damage, good strike down. And that being said, then put the shock mall suppression shield in A. Good clear, good AoE, obviously has a really strong defensively, just a little less damage than the RBD shock mall, so we're just going to put it in there, although the special is quite good. But I don't think it's strong enough to be S, but yeah. Latrine Shovel. So this is the Ogren Shovel. Now I'm going to put there's obviously the ones that are like strike down, like headshot specific ones. I'm going to put the normal Brute's Brainer in A, and the other variants in B. I think the special on the Brute's Brainers that have like the flip down, it's good, but it can often feel a little awkward, and it's not very like responsive a lot of the times, and the weapon is quite slow. But the Brute Brainer Mach 3 is it's kind of similar to the Bully Club. I'm eating a Skittle if you're wondering why my voice sounds like that. It's just good. Pretty good strike down, pretty good damage. It's got like that really good special attack where it stabs. Or no, that's the veteran one. Anyway, this one's still good, so it's going in A. Feel like I don't need to say. Now, the cleavers. I personally would put them in S, because it's my favorite Ogren weapon, but I'm going to put them in A. I could put them in B, because obviously they don't do that much damage to Carapace Armor enemies, but they do have good strike downs, and good horde clear. The weapons are fast. It actually makes the Ogren a little faster than his other melee weapons. And if you're going the Croak Mach 4, it has that stab, and that does pretty good damage to Carapace Armored enemies. So they're not I'm gonna put them in A. I mean, a lot of the Ogren weapons are gonna be in A, melee wise. Let's not pretend here. Chain Sword. God, I feel like the chainsword, I mean, it's just, I'm gonna put it in C. I'd put it in D, but it's just, I feel like just off in a bubble, and this is gonna be true for all the chain weapons. The chain weapons at their core are single target. The idea is that they're single target weapons, right? So they may have good cleave and okay DPS when you're not using the special, but the idea is to use the special to kill Carapace Armored enemies. It's a chainsword, right? It's meant to dig into armor. But the issue is that it takes so long for the chainswords to actually get their damage off on Carapace Armored enemies. Now, they're good on monstrosities. All the chain weapons are good at killing monstrosities. That it's more often than not almost a hindrance to use the special attack if there's more than one crusher. Because the amount of times I've almost been hit by an overhead because I'm trying to chainsword special attack a crusher by another crusher, it's too damn high, and it might not always stun the crusher. So I think generally, then also these weapons just don't have the highest DPS. Even if you're going a melee focus build, the chainsword is probably not the one you want to go. You'd much rather go the chain axe, especially if you're playing the zealot, even the eviscerator. So yeah, Devil's Claw. The Devil's Claw, I feel like they just go in. I don't know if I'm brave enough to put them in D, but I don't think I'm kind enough to put them in C. Because I just feel like... I mean, I know that there's some parry builds that are, like, pretty good, but I feel like just generally these weapons don't see play for a reason. It's like, why would you run the claw over the dueling sword, power sword, for any of the force swords, right? You know, it's just, I don't know. Alright, what's our next thing here? The combat blades. Ooh, combat blades. I'm gonna put them in A. I think once upon a time they were S, but I think they have seen a fall from grace. I'll put them next to his buddy, the Tac Axe. These used to be every single zealot would be running the combat blade. That was just the truth. It gave you the most move speed, it did an insane amount of damage, applied an insane amount of bleed, and obviously the zealot would do more damage to bleeding enemies because it would crit against bleeding enemies, so it would just do it, and it would cause more bleeds with the crits. So you'd apply an insane amount of bleed to enemies. You had pretty good, like, the heavy attacks are good, and obviously you could do the heavy attack speedrun cheese. Combat blades used to be S rank, but I think now they've sort of balanced out around A rank. They're definitely still good, and they're still fun to use every now and then for sure. But I just don't think they're as good as they used to be. What we got next? Auto guns already. The vigilant auto guns. Didn't I already do those? Yeah, I did. The Blaze Force Greatsword. Well, I feel like this, maybe some people are going to disagree with me. I'm going to put this in D. The Blaze Force Greatsword is, albeit fun, it's just too slow. It slows down your Psyker, the weapon attacks are too slow, getting to the special attack is too slow. I think the way to balance this weapon is, one, buff the move speed while you have it out just a little bit so it's not as slow. Buff the attack speed, and then make it so the special attack, when you get the fully charged special, the sweep, it's got to do like triple the damage it does now. It should almost like one-shot a Mauler if it hits, I think. Like, it's just so... it should be way stronger. You know? I feel like it's not crazy to say that. What's our next weapon here? Thunderhammer. Thunderhammer. Thunder. Okay. Thunderhammer, the Crucius Mach 2. I feel like that's going in S. The Mach 4 is going in B. Now you may be saying, what the hecky? So the Mach 4, or the Mach 2, is it used to be able to straight up one-shot monstrosities. Of course, it can now only almost one-shot monstrosities now. But this weapon is... do I put it in S, actually, thinking about it? I might put it in A. I'm going to put it in A. And now I'm going to get into why it's in A. This one's in B because it just feels worse to use. Its special attack just feels weaker than this one for no reason. The Mach 2 Thunderhammer is in A because one obviously does an insane amount of damage to Ogrins, monstrosities, captains when the shield is down, even when the shield is up. And you know, pretty much nothing in its way is going to be standing for long. The reason why it's in S is just because it can be a little awkward to use in hordes. If you're surrounded, the Thunderhammer can be just a little awkward, so that's why I'm putting it in A. But otherwise, it's an incredibly strong weapon. You know, being able to one-shot things is crazy. And the Iron Helm is in there because it just feels awkward to use compared to the Thunderhammer. The special attack doesn't feel as good, the combat patterns don't feel as good, and it just looks uglier. So it's a whole other... that's a whole can of worms, right? Alright, what do we got next? So many weapons. Double barrel shotgun. Double. I'm gonna put this in A. Good ammo economy, good killing, good fast, good weapon. I feel like I don't need to say more. It's only not in S because it's not in S. It's not S rank. It's definitely an A rank weapon. Although feel free to disagree with me in the comments below, by all means. Call me bad names. Cleavers, chainswords, devil's club, combat blade, auto guns, blaze force sword. Alright, now we're getting to the blaze force swords. I think blaze... so these two, the Mach 4 and the Mach 5, they can be ranked on the same way. I'm going to put these in A, just because it's kind of like the chainsword equivalent. Their combats are moved, but the special is a little weird, and the Obscurus is in... I'm going to put it in S tier because it's just a power sword. It's the power sword for the Psyker. If it wasn't for the dueling sword, this is probably what a lot of Psykers would use. That being said, I love the Deimos Blaze Force Sword. Let it be known, folks. Oh, I accidentally full screened. So yeah, I feel like it's a pretty good ranking for the power swords. Obviously, like, they're like the one that's a like knockoff power sword is good because it's power swordy, and the other ones are good because they actually do have good single target damage. Void Strike Staff. This is the Trauma Staff, right? Am I crazy, or am I mixing? Is this the Trauma Staff? Void Strike. I think, well, both the Void Strike and the Trauma Staff go in here. Void Strike, yeah, this is the Trauma Staff, right? Right? Am I crazy? Might as well rank the other staffs over here. Electronic Force Staff, I feel like it's in B. I don't know, that one I might feel wrong. And then the Perk Staff, Inferno Staff, goes in S. Just good clear. I feel like the Electric Force Staff could be a little higher. Just maybe it just doesn't have enough upfront damage for me. Exterminator Shotguns. Exterminator. I'm gonna put these. I don't know if it's an S-worthy gun, so I'm gonna put it in A. It might be an S-worthy gun, but I think it's just a little lacking somewhere. I don't know. I feel like the specials don't feel that great, to be honest, on either variants. So we're just gonna put this in A. I'm thinking about putting it in S, but I think it's an A rank weapon, not an S rank weapon. Ripper Gun. Now, I don't want anyone talking to me about nothing about no damn Ripper Gun not belonging in S. It's got good range, good crit, good fire rate, good ammo economy, good damage to everything that's from Poxwalker to Plague Ogren. Good captain damage. They'll absolutely shred their shields. You know, we all know what the Ogrens were running in the Karnak Twins. Good blessings. Gun looks good. Fun to shoot. Good special attack. Good coverage. Good range. Good everything. It's S rank. Best weapon in the game. Join the Ripper cult. Bolt pistols. I'm just gonna. I feel like I put these in B. They're good damage. They're just not quick enough to kill. You know, since we're here, might as well grab the bolt gun, right? Bolt gun A. I think the only thing not putting it in S is the ammo economy. Just good, quick kill, good to aim. The ADS feels good. Obviously, it does stagger to enemies as well. Even the slow variant is gonna go in A as well. Just, you know, one's better at killing monstrosities, this one's better at killing crusher hordes. That's the only difference. They both serve their purpose well. Alright. Bolt pistols, braced autoguns, already did that. The Ignis Crusher, the Crusher Maul. I feel like this isn't a surprise to anyone. I'm gonna put this in S rank. It's really good. It's got really good strike downs, really good combos, good mobility for the Zealot and the Arbitrator as well. Good special. If you're running any of the impact blessings, you can like knock crushers around like they're made out of paper mache. It's just an incredibly good weapon. I feel like a lot of people sleep on it as well. Like, obviously you're not going to be killing things as fast as you would with the Thunderhammer with a special, but this weapon is not to be trifled with, in my most humble opinion. And my opinion is most humble. Don't get it twisted, folks. Don't get it twisted. The auto pistol. And that's the shot pistol after that. I feel like I don't. Let's hold on. Let's add a tier below. Then we're gonna make its color like poo-poo brown. Gotta change the name. Auto pistol. Oh, hey, I'm typing here. Oh. Excuse you. Whatever, it's the auto pistol tier. It's ass. It's ass. Damage, terrible. Spread, terrible. Ammo reserves, triplet, and maybe we'll talk. Just a terrible weapon all around. Now that being said, shot pistol, rad shield, I'm putting it in B. I think it's in B because its effective range is 10 meters. So it really falls off past that. Obviously, you can still get kills with it past that, especially if it's like the squishier enemies. And obviously, if you're running the execution order talents, the far left talents for the arbitrator, you can do an insane amount of damage to monstrosities with it. It's just the fact that you can't reload while blocking and that its range drops after only 10 meters really kind of knocks it down a peg or two. But it's still, B's not a bad tier to be. No pun intended, quite frankly. Alright, next weapons. Bolt gun, kickback, and the rumbler. Obviously, they gotta be ranked differently. But I feel like my answers aren't going to be that surprising. Kickback is S tier. Good range, good damage, good animal economy, really quick to load. You can fire it constantly, and it'll kill pretty much everything. It's good monstrosity damage, good crusher damage, good captain damage, good everything damage. I really feel like I don't need to say anything. Now the rumbler is only going to go in A because it's a grenade weapon. The ammo economy isn't the craziest, and doesn't have a lot of good blessings. And obviously, like, dealing with long-ranged enemies can be a bit of a pain, especially with the arc that it has to fire at. I'm eating more Skittles. But it's still good. A is still good. Don't get it twisted. Alright, brace down guns. Hellbores. I'll put them in C. The Hellbores are much like the other las guns, just kind of, other than the recon, just kind of shit. The Hellbores have this idea of like charging to do more damage, but really the damage difference is like negligible at best. The special attack is pretty good. It's pretty good to spam it. You can get a lot of damage off of that. It's just yeah. And it can feel like, because of the charge up mechanic, it can feel a little awkward to use. So I really can't put them any higher than where I put them. Plasma gun. Do I even need to say where the plasma gun is? It's in S rank. Like, do I need to explain? It kills everything. There, I explained it. That's why the plasma gun's there, because everything dies in its general direction. Dueling sword, I feel like we need to add a tier above. It's weird, it doesn't like me highlighting. Dueling sword. Like, I really feel like I don't need to answer for my crimes here. I'm gonna zoom out so I can drag it to properly without having to boop. Like, it's the dueling sword. Do I need to get into it? I don't think so. It's the strongest weapon in the game. It'll continue to be the strongest weapon in the game until Fat Shark nerfs it. It never should have been added to every single class. Sapper shovels. I like the sapper shovels. They're a veteran weapon. Obviously, there's the folding ones and the normal one. I'm gonna put the normal one in B, and the folding ones go in C. The folding ones, too slow, too awkward. The normal sapper, it's got a good special attack. That special attack does a lot of damage to carapace enemies, and it'll stagger them most of the time as well. Just got good combos, good stamina, good mobility. It's like a great weapon. It just lacks maybe a little bit in the damage. Relic Blade. Relic Blade, unfortunately, is not going to fare too much better than our Force Sword compatriot, only going in C. Now, it's going in C just because it has it feels like it just has higher base damage. The Relic Blade is really slow, kind of puts cinder blocks in your Zealot. It doesn't really kill monstrosities very well, or captains. Doesn't really deal with crushers that well either. It obviously can deal with crushers. You're playing the Zealot. Just, it feels like it's only really suitable for hordes. I think the weapon is really fun. I just think, once again, honestly, if it wasn't for the movement penalty for having it, I'd probably take it quite a bit more. Because, yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad weapon, I'm just saying it needs help. Chain axes. Chain axes. Chain axes are pretty good, generally. So I gotta put them in at least B. They do a lot of damage with their special. Their base attacks are pretty good. They just feel better than the chainsword, that's for sure. So that's why they're going above the chainsword is all. Ogren Slab Shield. I feel like people aren't really going to be surprised with the placement here. It is an S-rank weapon. It does good damage, has an impenetrable defense, amazing AoE, has even good damage against Carapace with its heavy attacks. And obviously it doesn't really kill monstrosities that fast, but also monstrosities can't really kill you unless they grab you or eat you. So it's just its defensive capabilities make up for the slight lack in offensive capabilities in terms of nuking, but the weapon is still insanely strong. It's almost impossible to kill a Ogren with a goddamn Heavy Eviscerator. I like the Heavy Eviscerator. I wish it was better. But I'm gonna put it in. Do I put it in A or B? I feel like I gotta put it in B as well. It would go in A, simply for the fact that the special attack. Once again, it's the issue with the chain axes. Special attacks meant for killing Carapace armored enemies. One probably won't even kill the Carapace armored enemy it's attached to in the time, but also that's cool. You killed your chain axing one crusher. There's about 6 more behind it. So do with that what you will. And you put that in your pipe and smoke it. What's our next weapon here? Although I do like the Eviscerators, though. That being said, the heavy swords. I like the heavy swords. I feel like the heavy swords are a little slept on, but I'm not going to say they're very good. I think they are, I think at best a B tier weapon. They have good clear, good damage, good strike down. Their special attack is pretty good for dealing with Carapace armored enemies, where they kind of dig the back end into the enemy. I think it's quite good. Pretty good can opener. Definitely not the strongest in the Zealot's arsenal, so it's just going to go in happily in the B tier. Shock Mole and Suppression Shield. Oh no, we already did that, right? Right. Any weapons I'm missing? I feel like I'm missing something, but I'm definitely not. So yeah, here is the... I'll zoom out twice. Here's the final tier list. Feel free to judge me and argue in the comments below. Because obviously, this is mostly just my opinion. It's probably some mathematical thing to be actually the Contrail Mach 10 Heavy Lash Pistol does 10 quadrillion bajillion damage if you kiss a baby on the 4th of July. But if you made this far in the video, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mother. But you better brush your teeth and have a good one. Bye-bye.